Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the daily reading for Wednesday, May 10th, the day of the full Scorpio moon, or the Scorpio full moon, the flower moon, whatever you choose to call it. It is 12:34 in the afternoon on the 9th, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I figured now was as good a time as any, and maybe even a better time than another to do it. So I'm going to start with the day's events, and then we'll talk about May 10th this year. In the year 1775, the Second Continental Congress convenes in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and issues paper currency for the first time. 1801, the First Barbary War. The Barbary pirates of Tripoli declare war on the United States of America. It's the first U.S. foreign war. 1857, Indian Mutiny begins with the revolt of the Sepoys in Meerut. 1940, and my screen just changed. We're back. Winston Churchill succeeds Neville Chamberlain as the British Prime Minister. 1960, U.S. atomic bomb USS Triton, Triton, completes the first submerged circumnavigation of the globe. I'm sorry, atomic sub. I'm not gonna, why would atomic bomb complete circumnavigation? Let me do that one again. 1960, the U.S. atomic sub, the USS Triton, completes the first submerged circumnavigation of the globe. 1994, Nelson Mandela is sworn in as South Africa's first black president. Did you know Victoria Woodhull becomes the first woman nominated for U.S. presidency by Equal Rights Party at the Apollo Hall in New York City on May 10th in the year 1872. So 9, which is 6, which is love. Famous birthdays: John Wilkes Booth, Fred Astaire, Maybelle Carter, Pat Summerall, Sid Vicious, and Bono. Famous weddings: 1927, 1954 Nobel Prize winner in literature Ernest Hemingway, 27, weds journalist Pauline Pfeiffer, who was 31. 1976, Kiss former lead guitarist Ace Frehley, 25, weds Jeanette Trerotola. 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 1986, Tommy Lee, drummer of Motley Crue, marries Heather Locklear. 2000, World Championship professional boxer Manny Pacquiao, 21, weds Jinky Pacquiao. 2003, Broadway singer-actress Carol Channing, 82, weds Harry Kulijan at Big Valley Grace Community Church in Modesto, California. Doesn't say how old he was. And 1994, Drew Barrymore, 19, files for divorce from Jeremy Thomas. Thomas means twin. He was 31. So just 7 years shy of being exactly twice her age. Famous deaths: Paul Revere, Stonewall Jackson, Henry Morton Stanley, Tommy Burns. Thomas means twin. Joan Crawford, and John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy is basically It. You know, the clown, It. That's him. He was American and a serial killer. Known as the Killer Clown, he was convicted of the sexual assault and murder of at least 33 teenage boys, there's Raphael, and young men in a series of killings committed between 1972 and 1978 in Chicago, Illinois. He was born on March 17th in the year 1942, which is St. Patrick's Day, and was a Pisces from Chicago, Illinois, USA. He died on May 10th in 1994 at the age of 52 of execution by lethal injection. Joan Crawford was American and an actress. Her real or full name was Lucille Fay Lesueur, Lessueur. She was American and an actress. She's famous for Mildred Pierce in 1945, Possessed in 1947, and Sudden Fear in 1952. She's famous for a lot more than that. by the way. She was born on March 23rd in 1905 and was an Aries from San Antonio, Texas, USA. She died on May 10th in 1977 at the age of 72 of a heart attack. Tommy Burns was really named Noah Brusso, and he was Canadian, a boxer and world heavyweight champion, only Canadian-born world heavyweight champion boxer, and the first to travel the globe to defend his title. In total, he made 11 title defenses, despite often being the underdog due to his size. I don't know why Archangel Raphael is in such an uproar. Tommy was born on June 17th in the year 1881, which is 99, and was a Gemini from Hanover, Ontario, USA. He died on May 10th in 1955 at the age of 73 of a heart attack. Henry Morton Stanley, whose real or full name was John Rowlands, was Welsh, a journalist and an explorer, famous for his exploration of Central Africa and his search for missionary and explorer David Livingstone. Upon finding Livingstone, Stanley reportedly asked, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. Stanley is also known for his search for the source of the Nile, his work in and development of the Congo Basin region in association with Belgian King Leopold II, and with commanding the Emin Pasha Relief Expedition. He was born on January 28th in 1841 and was an Aquarius from Denbighshire, Wales, United Kingdom. He died on May 10th in the year 1904 at the age of 63. Stonewall Jackson was American and a Confederate general. He was a Confederate general during the American Civil War and one of the best-known Confederate commanders after General Robert E. Lee. Military historians consider him to be one of the most gifted tactical commanders in United States history. He was born on January 21st in the year 1824 and was an Aquarius from Clarksburg, Virginia, USA. He died on May 10th in 1863, which is also 9-9. I think that's like 3 or 4 9-9s already. He was 39 at the time, and the cause was pneumonia. Paul Revere, last of the deaths, was American, and his profession was that of American patriot. He's famous because he alerted the colonial militia to the approach of British forces before the battles of Lexington and Concord, as dramatized in the Henry Wadsworth Longfellow poem, Paul Revere's Ride. He was born on January 1st in the year 1735, so 1188, or 99 yet again, and was a Capricorn from Boston, Massachusetts, USA. He died on, get this, May 10th in the year 1818, 9-9, at the age of 83 or 11. Birthdays, Bono. His real name, nobody's using their real name today either. His real name is Paul Hewson, Hewson, and he's Irish, a rocker, lead singer of the rock group U2. He was born on May 10th in 1960 and is 57 years old, a Taurus from Dublin, Ireland. Sid Vicious was English and a musician. His real name was John Simon Ritchie, and he later changed it to John Beverly, but then became Sid Vicious. He was English and a musician, best known as the bassist and vocalist for the Sex Pistols. He was born on May 10th in 1957 and was a Taurus from London, England. He died on February 2nd in the year 1979 at the age of only 21 of a heroin overdose. Pat Summerall was American and CBS, Fox, and ESPN sportscaster. He played 9 years in the NFL before moving to the booth, where he announced a wide variety of sports, including football, golf, and tennis. In total, he announced 16 Super Bowls, 26 Masters tournaments, and 21 U.S. Opens. He was born on May 10th in 1930 and was a Taurus from Lake City, Florida, USA. He died on April 16th in 2013 at the age of 82 of cardiac arrest. Maybelle Carter was American and a country singer, best known as a member of the historic Carter Family Act in the 1920s and 30s, and also as a member of Mother Maybelle and the Carter Sisters. The Carter Sisters, sorry. She was born on May 10th in 1909 and was a tourist from Nicholsville, Virginia, USA. She died on October 23rd in 1978 at the age of 69. October 23rd, said to have been the first day of creation. Fred Astaire was American and an actor and a dancer. He's considered the fifth greatest male star of all time by the American Film Institute. His stage and subsequent film and television careers spanned a total of 76 years, or 13, or 4, or 11, 11, and during which he made 31, or 4, or 11, 11 musical films, several award-winning television specials, and numerous recordings. He is best known as Ginger Rogers' dancing partner and romantic interest, with whom he co-starred in a series of 10 Hollywood musicals which transformed the genre. He was born on May 10th in 1899, or 999, and was a tourist from Omaha, Nebraska, USA. He died on June 22nd in 1927 at the age of 88 of pneumonia. And lastly, John Wilkes Booth, American, an assassin. He assassinated President Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. He was born on May 10th in 1838, which is 9/11 or 11, and was a tourist from Bel Air, Maryland, USA. He died on April 26 in 1865, which is also 9/11 or 11, at the age of 26 of a gunshot. And speaking of assassinations, they added a story to the bottom of the page having to do with the month. Assassination of British Prime Minister. Only one British Prime Minister has ever been assassinated, a fact that brought the only claim to fame to Spencer Perceval. This happened on May 11th in the year 1812. All right. Now, May 10th. May 10th is the 130th day. So May 10th, which is 6, is the 130th day, which is 13. Getting back to that number, May is the big month for Mary, mother of Jesus, of course. And there are 235 days remaining in the year. All of these combined together, added together, equal 11. That's just a bit of my geeky math trivia. Now, going into the reading, starting with romantic dinner. Party. And it's 50-50. Spirit says stay in bed. Eat cake. Oh, okay. And yes, I thought this said sex as I was reading eat cake, and I thought of other meanings for the word cake and never mind. And being in bed. Okay, never mind. I'm going to read a story. It's from islamcan.com, and I think it has to do with the transformation that this full moon will represent. This transitions with also the self-esteem, self-love, healing energy that will be brought up and has been brought up all month and will continue throughout this month of IR, which is the month of healing. And hopefully will help us get through the next 2 weeks of, some potentially very strong but transformative and in positive ways for those who have positive karma at this point. Energy. It's called The Emperor and the Seed. An emperor in the Far East was growing old and knew it was time to choose his successor. Instead of choosing one of his assistants or his children, he decided something different. He called young people in the kingdom together one day. He said, "It's time for me to step down and to choose the next emperor. I've decided to choose one of you." The kids were shocked, but the emperor continued, "I'm going to give each one of you a seed today. one very special seed. I want you to plant the seed, water it, and come back here 1 year from today with what you've grown from this one seed. I will then judge the plants that you bring, and the one I choose will be the next emperor. One boy named Ling was there that day, and he, like the others, received a seed. He went home and excitedly told his mother the story. She helped him to get a pot and planting soil, and he planted the seed and watered it carefully. Every day he would water it and watch to see if it had grown. After about 3 weeks, some of the other young children began to talk about their seeds and the plants that were beginning to grow. Ling kept checking his seed, but nothing grew. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks went by, still nothing. By now, others were talking about their plants, but Ling didn't have a plant, and he felt like a failure. 6 months went by still. Nothing in Ling's pot. He just knew he had killed his seed. Everyone else had trees and tall plants, but he had nothing. Ling didn't say anything to his friends. However, he just kept waiting for his seed to grow. A year finally went by, and all the youths of the kingdom brought their plants to the emperor for inspection. Ling told his mother that he wasn't going to take an empty pot, but honest about what had happened, Ling felt sick to his stomach. He knew his mother was right. He took the empty pot to the palace. When Ling arrived, he was amazed at the variety of plants grown by the other youths. They were beautiful in all shapes and sizes. Ling put his empty pot on the floor, and many of the other children laughed at him. A few felt sorry for him and just said, "Hey, nice try." When the emperor arrived, he surveyed the room and greeted the young people. Ling just tried to hide in the back. "My, what great plants, trees, and flowers you've all grown," said the emperor. "Today, one of you will be appointed the next emperor." All of a sudden, the emperor spotted Ling at the back of the room with his empty pot. He ordered his guards to bring him to the front. Ling was terrified. "The emperor knows I'm a failure. Maybe he'll have me killed." When Ling got to the front, the emperor asked his name. "My name is Ling," he replied. All the kids were laughing and making fun of him. The emperor asked everyone to quiet down. He looked at Ling and then announced to the crowd, "Behold your new emperor. His name is Ling." Ling couldn't believe it. Ling couldn't even grow his seed. How could he be the new emperor? Then the emperor said, "1 year ago today, I gave everyone here a seed. I told you to take the seed, plant it, water it, and bring it back to me today. But I gave you all boiled seeds, which would not grow. All of you, except Ling, have brought me trees and plants and flowers. When you found that the seed wouldn't grow, you substituted another seed for the one I gave you. Ling was the only one with the courage and honesty to bring me a pot with my seed in it. Therefore, he is the one who will be the new emperor." The prophet taught, "Truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. And a man keeps on telling the truth until he becomes a truthful person. Falsehood leads to al-fajor, which means wickedness and evil doing, and al-fajor wickedness leads to hellfire. And man may keep on telling his lies until he is written before Allah as a liar." And this can be found in Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 8, 116. So the Quran. Basically, we reap what we sow, and we're about to do that. So I hope that you guys have been planting, righteous seeds and remaining in your integrity and your truth. I go through it sometimes here. Some of you, well, I guess how some of the people felt bad for the little boy and said, "Nice try." Some of you will say, "Oh, you should have more subscribers. You should have more, viewers, and they're, being empathetic to me. But here's my thing. I'm honest. I remain in that place. I remain in my integrity. I'm not going to use props like somebody told me one day. You should put up props so that people, are more attracted to it. I'm a queen. I'm not a court jester. I'm not putting up props. The stuff that I have surrounding me, which is gorgeous, by the way. Did I show you guys this? Look at this. It's a natural heart. Not something that was carved in the shape of a heart. It's a naturally forming heart within a heart within a heart within a heart. of rainbow obsidian. I've got 3 of them, different colors. You can't even see all the hearts in this one because it's so black. I picked these up to show you. I surround myself with things that are healing and vibrant to me. Things that support my vibration and aid me in bringing you the messages. That's and protecting myself. That's with what I surround myself. I'm not putting up props. I'm not going to be out here advertising my videos to any and all people. I don't want people who are not of the light watching my videos. I know I can't stop all of them from watching it, but I don't want them watching it. I'm not going to call them twin flame videos in order to attract anybody. I never felt comfortable with the word twin flame. I used it in the beginning because honestly, that's how the angels even showed it to me. That was the word going around. And I guess in order for me to, take notice, they used the word twin flame. Now they don't. I'm not going to use it either. All of this to say, remain in your truth, or the truth, more importantly, and, be yourself and courageous enough to be yourself, regardless of what everyone else is doing and whether it appears that those actions are resulting in success for them. Because just like the story, the reality of it is that's the success of the earthly that these other people are achieving, perhaps by doing some of the things that I described. So maybe 1 million people are watching your video. Well, there's only 144,000 illumined beings. And, there are some other elect ones, but there's not 1 million. So who's watching you? And, to what end and for what reason? To what are you exposing yourself? For what are you risking your soul and vibration? And is it really worth it? For me, it's not. It's a personal choice for everybody. All right. That said, transformation, karma, was the point I was trying to make. And I'm beginning with the perfect card for today. It's release or death, which represents the sign of Scorpio, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. Opening to the 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. And I saw only beautiful water cards, a lot of love and emotion as I was shuffling. The King of Water, the 2 of Cups, all of these. Release is back. Oop. Oh boy. Speak of the devils. Competing goals, those people. Bothersome details and conflict with others. Wanted to be seen. But opening to the 9 of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. 9 of Earth. Opening to the Knight of Earth, loyal, dedicated, honorable, kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. 9 of Earth back. As I was telling you that all I saw was water as I was shuffling. Look at all these other things. And this one I'm not a fan of either. Almost dislike it as much as that 5 of Fire. The 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. That's the only reason why I dislike this one less than the other, because this one is an illusion. This one is in our mind, and we can sort of refocus ourselves, maybe do some meditation, come to some realizations and epiphanies that we are in fact not trapped. I had a long inbox conversation with one of my viewers last night, and very happy that I was able to be honest with her and that she appreciated that. She was in a situation where the father of her children is an Aries, coincidentally. And so this one of these overbearing energies that I've been talking about for a couple months now, like the past 2 months. And she was sending him money. And she's got something like 4 or 5 kids, I think she said. I think it was 4. And an ill mother, so she does the parental care that I've been talking about too. Mother has MS, which I know what that can be. I have a sister that has MS, so I know what that care can involve. and these 4 kids. So she's taking care of everybody by herself and sending this grown man who's her ex money. And she has a different, divine masculine. And, didn't understand because she's not interested in the ex where the cord was. And I said, basically you're going to have to stop sending him money. And she said she felt guilty. And I can understand that, which is the beauty of being a Gemini and or Queen of Swords. We, have that trait where we can view like all sides of an issue. So I understood the guilt, but I was able to, just keep it real with her and be honest and say, basically, like the long and short of it is, you are supporting a grown man who made a poor choice, and but for that poor choice would otherwise, I would hope, I'm sure you would hope, be here helping you to support his kids. But since he did that, now you're supporting him and taking away from them. And she's like, oh my goodness, you're right. Now, I mean, somebody could have easily gotten, upset about it. And I said, no judgment from me. I'm just telling you what it is or what I see, in the situation. And she was so thankful. It was a real eye-opener. And she knew, then she watched my Tuesday reading. She hadn't seen the reading yet. And the feminine had to make a decision. And then she knew what the decision had to be. It had to be to stop doing this. So, if we're honest with ourselves, we can find these cords that we have to cut. And that's what this day is going to be all about. So yeah, coincidentally, I was landing on the Emperor, which and I just told a story about the Emperor. Isn't that cool too? With Archangel Michael here. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. This card, being a 4 particularly, can be about basically getting our lives in order. Getting your whole life is what the Emperor is about. However, I guess there's a light and dark side of everything. The darker or shadow aspect of this is that fire signs have this trait ability. I mean, we all do, but they, have it shines brighter with them, maybe because of the fire. This trait where they can become so aggressive to the point that it's extremely unattractive and overbearing. So that may be a problem too, and perhaps that's from where that 5 of fire was coming. 9 of earth back. Open into the chariot with Archangel Metatron. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. The chariot representing water signs, maybe Scorpio, but the card typically represents the sign of Cancer, but it can be Scorpio for today, or Pisces as well. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower and public recognition. Chariot, all about movement, transportation, perhaps moving, and that can be on, up, any kind of moving. Planes, trains, automobiles. Last one, the Page of Earth, who's scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, and a new area of study. And 9 of earth. That may, all this earth and that Aries actually may be coming through because of the Venus in Aries, and Venus wanting to shower us with love and money. This can represent Venus too. It's the Ace of Air, who's brilliant, new ideas and inspirations, also seeing the truth of a situation, and is about a challenging beginning, potentially, but a beginning nonetheless, is what I always say. The Ace of Air can be a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra, somebody taking on those traits or energy. And the overall energy is the Queen of Water, who's tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. The Queen of Water is said to represent the sign of Scorpio, but can also be here because of Pisces or Cancer or someone taking on those traits. Nice. The masculine is the Knight of Water, who's emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event is also possible. Surrounded by the 6 of air, things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. Some may actually be booking vacations or something, or going on them, having seen now the Chariot and the Six of Air. And speaking of the Chariot, here it is. It's back in the masculine's subconscious. Again, with Archangel Metatron, important achievements, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. This is a card of victory, movement, moving, travel, modes of transportation. People can be moving on. They can be physically moving. That may be the proposal that the masculine is extending to you. That masculine may very well be a Scorpio. Feminine, however, we feel trapped. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. So, like, we go through this thing, feminine, all the time, where, like, I'm ready, I'm getting bored, I'm getting tired. And he comes around, he comes around, and we panic, and we have that lack of, we're afraid to take action, that lack of courage to move forward with him. So just be mindful of this energy. All this major arcana and these court cards, they totally outweigh this. Release this feeling. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. So again, this is release or death in the traditional tarot, which represents the sign of Scorpio. In the feminine subconscious, it's the Hermit with Archangel Raziel. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Get to know you. Release the aspects of yourself that make you feel bound or married to someone, someplace, something from which you need to be separated and released. You have the power to free yourself, which is what I told the young lady last night too. She was so very thankful. Crowning. It's these people or this energy yet again, which again, all these court cards and major arcana totally trump this. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. This together here makes an 11-11 too. And if you turn everything around to the positive, that trumps it too. Like if we cease to give negativity our energy, it ceases to exist. It thrives on support. Our fear is what causes this type of thing to thrive. At the roots, the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. We got 2 9s sitting here next to each other. Maybe that's what all the 9-9 was about when I was going through the day's events. It was forewarning or foretelling of this, that we're going to need to be spending some time alone. Focusing on self-care. I talked about this when I first started, when I first settled down. Yes. So the universe agreeing with me, co-signing what I said, reaffirming, reconfirming, all of that. At the heart of the matter, the Empress, what I say about Venus, that she wanted to come through. With Archangel Gabriel, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. The Empress, it can very well be of what people are jealous. Right? Because you are thriving. You are maybe the person with the empty pot, but that's the person who's reaping what they've sown, in a positive sense. The rest are reaping what they've sown too, what their lies, have begotten them. To those of us who have been living in truth and who strive to live that way now, if we haven't before, make amends to ourselves, to the universe, turn it around before it's too late. Go in now, a caterpillar, and reemerge tomorrow, a butterfly. To those people, Venus wants to reward you with love and money, all kinds of abundance. This card, the Empress, represents the signs of Libra and Taurus, by the way. Some of us are moving forward toward these positive new beginnings. We're giving birth to a whole new life for ourselves, maybe with somebody. We got our 613 here, equals 19 equals God, or each of them kind of equaling God, 6 representing the goddess Isis and 13 representing King Osiris. We also have the birth of a new relationship, potentially with the Knight of Water crossing the Empress. We have actual pregnancy coming through with this. We have people who are feeling bound again by children and or parents. This could be a father too, but it's coming through like as possibly someone's mother. And we're feeling, married to a situation, maybe like, again, like the young lady, I don't want to keep using her, with whom I spoke yesterday. She said she cares, in part for her mother too. Maybe she feels bound to that, like she won't be able to move forward toward the masculine should he pull up on her like this. And that may apply to some others out there feeling that way. We have the freedom, again, feminine, to release ourselves from this. It's completely like mental, and the universe wants us to know. I was going to take the next upright card from there, but I decided, you know what, let's just go on to the romance cards, beginning with religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Opening to attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. A card about reaping what we sow. Attraction. All based on the law of attraction. Let go of control issues. This can be a control issue too. Attraction back. And opening to chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Attraction back. And free yourself. Amen. It's time to take back control of your life. So this message certainly going out to the feminine. It's possible some of the masculine too, but it looks like you've already gotten like this message, and the feminine is just now phoning in and getting it, that it's time to release herself from stuff like this. For yourself. And new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. New love now at the bottom. I'm going to cut. Soulmate, boom. This is your soulmate. The overall energy is it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So those of you also who think you have nothing to offer is another message that comes to me through the story. I have only this empty pot. So I'm not, worthy of love. I'm not deserving of love. It's not safe for me to love. It's not safe for me to show up, with my heart on my sleeve and making, an offer of come be with me to do what? I don't have anything. I've got this empty pot. Change your perspective. Use this time of 9 of Earth here at the root, maybe some of the feminine's Hermit, to turn that feeling about yourself around, because it's safe for you to love. And I just change the overall energy. Sometimes I don't know. I go back and do it again. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay. Now I'm going to get to what I had started to do before and somehow got turned around. All things happen for a reason. Top the Knight of Waters. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So masculine, if it's put in your heart, mind, both, it looks like to do any of these things, make any kind of offer, step forward, emotional, romantic, contemplative, you want to make a move, do it. You're guided to do just that, to move. Let your friends help you if, there's a means for that. Maybe some sort of double date, a group outing, let's all go hang out at the same club or something, and that will help you to bring you together. Ask for and accept support from others. Otherwise, you can ask the angels. I consider them my friends. Some of you may do the same. Here, atop the Chariot is attraction. So we're moving toward, our harvest, right? This is, again, about reaping what we sow. Atop the 8 of Air, playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So for those feminine who don't know, like, how to even free themselves from like the self-imposed prison. Even if it's not an attachment to someone else, it's just I've blocked myself in, and I don't know how to have fun anymore. I don't know how to socialize. I don't know how to approach you. I don't know how to respond to you. Get back into a lighthearted place, youthful, childlike almost. Atop, release. It's romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So release the chains and things that are binding you and preventing you from doing that. And again, slip into this youthful energy. Atop, the hermit. When you're getting to know yourself, identify the control issues and let them go. And then allow the situation to unfold naturally. We did that too. We talked about that too, me and the young lady. After we talked about everything else, she said, okay, I know what I got to do. I'm making this decision. I'm going to, move forward. And then what? I said, nothing until you're guided to do something else. And she's like, oh, yeah, I got to stop doing that too. I got to stop trying to know everything and control everything. So she's not alone. Crowning, atop the 5 of fire. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So very soon, this energy that's been like a block, literally in between the masculine and feminine, is going to be cleared out, changed. That's what comes with 5s. Change, clearing of energy. Very soon that's going to happen. After we decide, this is what I want. At the root, here, atop the 9 of earth, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And I think that someone is whomever is not, exploring the romantic feelings, is holding on to control issues or anything else that might be negative or ego or fear-based, who has themselves trapped. So in this case, mostly the feminine. Someone who's wearing a false self mask, feminine, may be us. At the heart of the matter, atop the Empress. Ooh, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So for some, this can be, from the romance spread perspective, the mother of your children on either side, or the other parent to your children. Maybe not your mother, it's their mother. Your child's mother. And this is like, there's not anything actually happening with this person, and there may not have ever even been a romance, is what's coming to me. But this is like some sort of like hotsy-totsy person that's like flirting around either. Again, it can be male or female, although the Empress is typically a woman. In other cases, this release your ex represents a capital X. That also coming through very strong. And that may be what it represents to most, to be honest, because I'm feeling that very, very strong. That this is a capital X, and it has to do with, again, with the deception, with taking off your own mask and stepping out and being you, making the effort. Exploring your romantic feelings, letting go of control issues, and going after you want, so that very soon you can have it. Very soon can be, tonight. You know what I mean? Let's go on to some advice. I'm also going to read Healing the Divine Masculine, Osiris Rises, from my Isis Oracle, because I use these in the full moon reading that I did for today. This is just a daily. I want to remind everybody, it's, a traditional, typical daily that I would do every day, only it's for the day on which the full moon falls. And I was guided again to pull them out, and sure enough, right away, again, I shuffled to Healing the Divine Masculine with Osiris. This is his day, basically, as the Scorpion King. And so I said, I'm not going to, give one to each archetype. I'm just going to read this card. Masculine. Ooh, the sun. Speaking of King Osiris, this is the day of his birthday. 11/19 will be exact for that Scorpion King. Here, this is all about fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and a happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. Another card that trumps, these two only minor arcana negative energies that we have on the table. Everything else was so beautiful. And again, even at this Heart of the Matter, we see release your ex. It's not as scary as it looks because it's not an actual person. For your inner ex, you have to be the play the part of Saint Andrew and get out on your, you know, X-shaped cross bravely, right? With your courage. You got to be the courageous enough to step up to the emperor with your empty pot. That's what this card is about. And you'll be very pleased with the outcome. The emperor also, for me, represents God, right? He gives us all a seed to nurture. And some of us, again, are going to be, you know, remain in our integrity and truth and honest and, you know, stick it out, even though it doesn't appear to our 3D human eyes to be working, you know. And some of us are going to try to be slick and go the earthly route. And we know the, you know, the ruler or the father of the earthly dominion. It's, you know, the dark. It's not the sun. So you're choosing. You're making a different free will choice to ignore your own integrity. Right? It's like you don't even know yourself or respect yourself enough to truly be you. Whatever that means. However it looks. And to be with whomever you truly feel in your heart to be with. Whomever that is. However that looks. That's what this release your ex means. And again, I assure you, you will be pleased that you did if you take that risk. Feminine, to you, same thing. It's the dreamer. 0. Cipher in Supreme Math. Speaking of exes, Clarence the 13th, he released his ex, right? Malcolm X released his ex. That's the kind of ex I'm talking about. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams, because that leads to unexpected opportunities. This is about embarking upon a brand new path. You can use the innocence, the playfulness, the youthfulness, the innocence of a child to, you know, just, you know, children are brave. They're risky. They feel infinite, right? Immortal. Nothing's ever going to happen to me. I can try anything. You know, scary stuff sometimes. But they've got heart. That's what this playfulness atop the 8 of air, crossing release your ex, which sits atop birth of your future, birth of your dreams, birth of your ideas, birth of your love life, you know, your union. We're in control. If you let go of control issues again, we're in control of how that turns out, of whether or not it's a happy outcome or whether or not we remain chained, you know, by our own minds. Again, air cards are about, you know, the mind. It's your own thoughts creating your reality. So instead, take this air card, the dreamer, which in this deck in particular represents the planet Mercury for me, ruler of the sign of Gemini. So all about air and being in the mind, and take that leap to embark upon a brand new path. From the butterfly deck, masculine, changing your mind. I was going to go this way. I was going to do what you wanted me to do. I wasn't going to do what I wanted to do, but guess what? I'm going that way now, and I am going to do what I want to do and what my heart's telling me to do, like the Knight of Water. I've changed my mind. Feminine, spiritual growth is the result of this. Taking the stand, getting to know yourself, and then taking a stand for yourself and going after what you want. The same way I've been telling. We've each got like the same messages coming through in different ways. Masculine, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture, which is very appropriate for the Knight of Water. That's what he does. He makes the romantic gesture. So you feel confident in doing that. Feminine, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This relationship refers to the one to whomever or whatever it is you feel bound. This cannot go on anymore. Release it with this energy of the full moon in Scorpio. What we can do is make your intentions. Don't forget to make your intentions. Write it down. Put it on a piece of paper. What you want. And if you don't want to do that, certainly put down what you don't want, what you want to release from your life. And you can call on God or, the universe or specific angels or however you want to do it to help you in doing so. Let your friends help you. And then you can put it in a God box, some of you. Or if you're like me and you're a pyromaniac, you can set it on fire. Or you can do whatever you feel to do with it. Tuck it in your bra, your sneaker, your pants, whatever, you're into. But put it down on paper that you're making a conscious decision, right? Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This is what I want. I certainly don't want this. I want, or you can write it in a more affirmative way. I want to release all of this. I want to release lack. I want to release blockages. I want to release chains that bind me. I want to release negative energy, negative people, negative influences upon my life. I want to release the earthly. I know that the things of this world are meant for my destruction. I want to release anything that means me harm. And then again, do with it what you will after that. I always feel like I'm sending it up into the ethers when I set it on fire. But again, that can just be because I'm kind of a pyromaniac. I've always been like that since a child. All right, so healing the divine masculine, which applies to us all. And we'll see how in just a second. Osiris rises. Also, this card signifies for me a beginning or the beginning of the en masse return of the masculine for those who are in separation. So yes, I've been seeing, showing you how I saw it exactly and saying for a couple of months now that June 9th is, really going to be a big day. We'll see a lot of changes, or by June 9th, by the end of the Jupiter retrograde. But I think that beginning now, some of you may even get like happy Mother's Day, that may be a lighthearted way to start conversation. Happy Mother's Day texts and calls and things like that. And I would say by next weekend, you will really see, like, again, en masse, like larger portions of the collective really starting to come back, starting to appear as this Knight of Water. When I see the Osiris Rises card, and having pulled it again twice in 1 week, I feel really, really good about it. And there was something that I saw. Oh, with the butterfly deck, I had started with family changes, and when I saw that, I said, "Oh boy," because I hadn't shuffled this yet, the Isis deck yet. And family changes can, mean it can be in all aspects. So one of the possibilities with family changes is death. That someone could pass away, or a pet or something could pass away. For those of us who have pets, because those are our family members too. Sometimes people consider those their children. But then I did not see, and I recalled I did not see the other day either, that Proper Burial for Freedom card, and I didn't see it again today. So I felt really good that was not at all what was going to be meant. And then sure enough, when I started shuffling the deck, I came right to King Osiris for the second week in a row. So he's trying to make it clear that yes, Osiris rises and returns. The divine masculine within men and women is the energy that allows for protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. When the masculine within us is healthy and strong, we have an inner strength to hold ourselves safe through anything. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in his ability to offer the inner protection and stability that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. The inner masculine and inner feminine need each other. When they're in good inner relationship with us, we feel like healthy, whole human beings. We're able to live as ourselves in the world in a relatively peaceful, creative, and enjoyable way, like Venus, right? Once we are whole, our whole self, we've released our ex, we've released our whole self upon the world, we can live like this. When there's damage to the inner masculine, there's difficulty in standing up for our truths, our values, and in knowing how to protect them, just as I've been talking about the whole time I've been doing this reading. We have difficulty doing this without feeling as though we have to fight constantly, right? Just to be allowed to be ourselves. I'm making a tremendous mess, but there's a reason, there's a method to my madness. Just to be allowed to be ourselves, we have to fight constantly. We might also feel that unless others see things as we do, we have no power, and then have to fight to dominate others, manipulating them to our point of view. The inner masculine part of us often needs healing so that he can fulfill his divine purpose of inner strength, protection, and honoring of the self in its uniqueness, so that we can live as free, strong individuals that know who they are and are happy to just love and be that person. Exactly. Just be happy being you. That allows others to do the same. This will happen at any time he is asked to hold even more consciousness, to hold permission and strength to even more of the unique self. The masculine and feminine within us need to be in balance with each other. There is no point of having a powerful feminine with unique values and a strong creative force without an equally strong masculine energy that is able to act upon those unique values, no matter what others may think, and take action to allow the creative force of the inner feminine to flow into form in the physical world. When your inner feminine is growing and desires to express her uniqueness in the world more boldly than ever before, the inner masculine needs to grow in self-belief, self-worth, and self-confidence, so that he may take action to allow the blossoming feminine to truly be in the world whilst feeling secure and safe. This oracle indicates your feminine self is blooming, and your masculine needs to be able to protect and honor her. Sometimes, just as Isis looked for Osiris to help to put him back together when he was torn apart by hatred, fear, and jealousy of his dark brother Set, our feminine needs to help the masculine to heal, so that he in turn can help her. We have to be nurturing to one another. Your masculine consciousness can be healed and grow stronger through his relationship to the inner feminine within you. By adjusting and healing our own views of masculine energy, so that our feminine energy is no longer willing to experience masculine energy as violent, aggressive, unfeeling, or controlling, a healing shift begins. Okay, that's all this. This is what we have to get rid of from between us. The divine inner masculine can then choose to relate to the divine inner masculine in a different way. I'm sorry, the divine inner feminine can choose to relate to him in a different way. To hold a different vision and different beliefs of who he is, what he can do, and what his purpose might be. She might choose to experience him as tender, protective, strong, discerning, and a stabilizing energy. What this looks like in our life experience is change in how we, within ourselves and with others, in how we move and live and experience the world. Maybe that's why the masculine has these two cards of movement sitting one atop the other that I've buried. The Six of Air and the Chariot. Okay, we're working on how the masculine moves. We have more willingness to be kind to ourselves, to honor our feelings, and to not be bullied into stepping away from our truths by others or even by our own self-doubt. Another reason for this to be sitting next to the Eight of Air. This is being bullied by our own self-doubt. But if you put a positive spin on it and change it into an 11-11, it's empowering. And it equals 4. It equals stability. It equals foundations. It equals a new part of our new beginning, something that we've manifested for ourselves. So we have to have more of a willingness to be kind to ourselves, to honor our feelings, and to not be bullied into stepping away from our truths by others or even by our own self-doubt or self-criticism. It is an inner commitment to love and honor the self and an inner trust in this commitment. So when the feeling arises to try something new, creatively or spiritually, for example, another reason why Venus or the Empress would be crossing the Hermit, birth of something new, creatively or spiritually. So when that feeling arises to try something new or creatively or spiritually, for example, there is trust that this will be respected and acted upon, and it is. When the healing of this relationship begins to occur within us, our outer relationships also change and flow into healthier expression. We begin to feel safe, protected, and strong enough to take risks. Okay, the risks I was talking about that children are able to take, that we somewhere along the way we develop fear instead and we lose it. You know, in some cases we mature and it's for good reason. You know, we develop some some sense of logic, and that, you know, some things are a good idea and some things aren't. But in other cases, it's fear that we've built up that prevents us from taking a chance. That, you know, children just don't have that. So we begin to feel safe, protected, and strong enough to take risks and to live a bold, expressive, truthful, and creative life with more energy and passion. The oracle guides you to realize that your inner masculine could benefit from some restoration and healing after being ravaged by expectations that in order to be acceptable, he should never feel anything. Like he should not be the Knight of Water, who's emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Like that's not okay with regard to masculine, or maybe more specifically males. Okay, somewhere we've led them to think that he should always be dominant, that only the most violent and aggressive alpha masculine behaviors are to be respected. If you are already working on this aspect of your own healing, you are encouraged by this oracle that it is working, and to stay with your progress. So even if you can't see it, even if you can't see the progress, even if your bucket looks empty, your pot looks like nothing has grown, this oracle is guiding you to believe that something is indeed about to be harvested for you. You are encouraged to empower your masculine energy, seeing it as tender, protective, containing, strong, and aware. You are also encouraged to continually choose to let go of behaviors that cast the masculine as a perpetrator or as dominating. Use your inner feminine energy, trust, and determination to avoid castrating the masculine by considering it weak, useless, or unnecessary. For healing to happen for both masculine and feminine, we must be prepared to let go of feelings of victimization, domination, disappointment, and dissatisfaction, and do the sometimes challenging inner work of learning to relate to masculine and feminine energy with a completely different approach. This can be enough to set healing in motion. It takes persistence, determination, patience, and application for the damaged masculine within us and outside of us to be restored to glory. But with Isis to help us, great healing miracles are made possible. Once the masculine begins to gain strength and to be empowered to express itself in a less cliched and more authentic way, we gain the wisdom and power of honoring and boundaries. We learn how to respect and to be respectful without losing our power or becoming servile. We learn how to serve others from a place of empowerment and peace. And we learn how to cut through manipulations and posturing in the world of relationships straight to the truth of the matter. Masculine and feminine energies can then do what they are ultimately destined to do, which is unite in love to create harmony, bliss, and the peaceful fulfillment of inner wholeness. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I realized it was a little bit long, but I hope that you find that it was worth it, that I only said what needed to be said. Don't forget to make your intentions. I wish you all a fabulous transformation. Namaste, angels.